We fly on RPT flights, which is regular public transport, and they go to Corumba and Normanton, Mount Isa, Dermagee, Mornington Island.
What sort of people do you carry? Are they tourists or people from the properties up there?
No, mainly people that live in these areas, and the missions normally, they're Aboriginals, and the white staff that work for the government. To Corumba, it's people involved in the prawning industry and the fishing industry, and of course Normanton area like that, it's station people. It wouldn't be uncommon to have a dental technician and a dentist on board going to the missions, and then you'd have some of the local Indigenous people, maybe a policeman going back from leave, a fisherman. You get all sorts of people travelling.
Reg has come to know many of the passengers he's carried since he started flying. One of the questions they ask him is how he became a bush pilot. His wife, Jacqueline, is often asked the same question.
Well, he went to the Aero Club, to our local club here in Cairns, and had a talk to a couple of the pilots out there, and they told him what he had to do, and he decided that, with a lot of study and a lot of money, that he'd be able to learn himself.
Did he have the educational background for a pilot?
No, he didn't have a very good educational background. I don't think he even passed his junior in those days, but he's put a lot of effort into it. He studied till about 3 o'clock every morning for about the first 3 years we were married, and I think he's done very well. He deserves what he's got.
Why did he choose to become a pilot in particular and not something else?
It was something he always wanted to do. He was in the Air Cadets as a young lad growing up, and he always wanted to be a pilot.
Got a new frequency, 122.4.
A small change of plan means landing first at the prawning town of Corumba.
Bush Air Corumba. This is Echo Delta Charlie, Bush Air Flight 4718.
Echo Delta Charlie, this is Bush Air Corumba, over.
Good morning, Miles. We're about 20%. We're with you at 11:45 local. We have 20 packs this morning. Quite a lot of freight as usual. About 600 kilos. So I think we've got a couple of fishing nets.
Darn the crows, what do they think we are? Samson?
They'll probably have to have a couple of guys for those.
Roger, Ed, yes. Yes, they get to be very bulky.
Well, we're going to get back to our checklist now, so we'll see you shortly.
Roger, Ed.
Corumba sits on the edge of the flat salt plains that line this part of the Gulf. The town itself was built only recently, and Reg has helped fly in its goods and its people.
You get quite good friendships with people. You might have bought something that they particularly wanted that day. They have to get everything they need, either by aeroplane or by service transport of some sort. But there's always something that you're bringing in that they're waiting for. There's always people going in and out, and their only mode of transport is the aircraft.
Good with care.
Good with care, yeah. Any mail going back?
No. Goodness, you got me thinking there.
Mail back to Isa.
Yeah, they're all gone.
All gone?
Yeah. Lionel just brought that out. It's gone to, that's supposed to be Cairns.
Not one of the passengers, eh?
Could have been.
One of the mechanics. Corumba exists due to the fishing industry. There is a lot of floating population that we even bring in on bush pilots. They come in to work the prawning season, and when the season is finished, population drops down again. The people of Corumba are more city dwellers. They go backwards and forwards quite a lot from Corumba to Cairns. A lot of the time they actually live on the boat and go out to the prawning fields from Corumba. The people that probably look after the processing plant, drivers, mechanics, all these sort of people, would live in the caravan park.
These children too have come with their parents for the prawning season, and when the season's over, most will return to their homes in Cairns. The fishermen work under lonely and difficult conditions. For when the boats go out into the Gulf in search of prawns, it can be many months before they're able to return. The twin town of Corumba is Normanton, and it takes the DC-3 only a few minutes to cover the distance the following day. The passengers who travel to Normanton are mainly people from the cattle stations, with here and there a few tourists and government officials. Today there'll be a stopover for the aircraft and its pilot, which gives Reg a chance to meet old friends and look around. Normanton is the centre of the cattle industry in this part of the Gulf country. People travel here to get food supplies, spare parts, or to attend the local hospital. It's also the jumping-off point for one of the most curious railways in Queensland, the railway from Normanton to Croydon.
The railway that goes from Normanton to Croydon would have been built in the gold rush days to carry stores backwards and forwards from two outback points when other surface transport like vehicles and that couldn't move during the wet season. The only way to get there was by rail. We have people come through here on bush pilots tours, and the reason they come here is to see the rail motor, the old station, where it goes.
This country is some of the most isolated in Australia, and for any bush pilot, a land to respect.
I think it's instinctive that any bush pilot flying over this area, as long as I have, you automatically, without realising that, are taking mental notes of places that you can use for emergency airstrips as you fly. This place would be quite suitable for an emergency airstrip. For instance, when you're in the air and you look down upon the country, you don't sort of realise how vast and how flat it is until you really get on the ground and you look around and you go from horizon to horizon. It's very flat, very dry, not much grows here.
"200 kilometres further west is the last stop of the flight. The children from the mission station, here at Doomadgee near the Northern Territory border, are coming to meet the aircraft and help unload.
Ah. Hey, kids. Hi. What have you got here? What sort of plane's that?
Bush bug. BPA.
Well, what sort of plane is it, bud?
That's Big B.
Hmm?
It's BPA.
DC-3?
No,
DC-3, bud.
Yeah. No, these.
That's a DC-3.
Yeah.
What about this one?
That's BPA.
402? 402, yeah. And who made that?
Mr. Ramage. Mr. Ramage.
No, that's not bad, is it, eh?
He made.
I get quite delighted, actually, with the kids coming out and asking questions. One particular question I can remember was one little chap asked me, how do we change gear in a DC-3? Which, when you think about it, is not that silly, you know. He sees motor cars and trucks and tractors, and they all change gear, and because it's an aeroplane, why shouldn't it change gear? So when we explained to him that aeroplanes don't work that way, he was quite surprised and delighted. We get all sorts of questions like that. How do we become a pilot? How do they become hostesses? I enjoy that part of it. It's good fun. That's the antenna.
Doomadgee is a small community that relies heavily on transport for its goods and services. Everything must be shipped in by road or air transport, and this makes the cost very high. These houses, when completed, will have cost nearly $50,000, although by southern standards, they're quite small. While the aircraft is being refueled, there's time to visit the school, which is only a few hundred meters from the airstrip. The mission people know Reg well, as he's been landing here for more than 10 years now, and most of them would have travelled with him.
We've got 16 teachers, and of the 16 teachers that are here, they would all travel sometime or other, and normally they come in for the beginning of the year because it's the wet season.
Do they ever use the road at all? Do they come in by road?
Oh, they can come in by road, but initially...
That's if they want to go out on holidays or something.
Want to go out on holidays through the year, vacation through the year, they can use the road.
Yeah.
But at the starting of the year, normally they're getting back late from vacation or new teachers coming in, they all use bushes. It's the only way of getting in, only transport.
The outback people, they're probably one of the most honest, down-to-earth people that you could meet anywhere in Australia. So you can't help but like the outback people. And they're great people to mix with. That's probably one of the bonuses of being a bush pilot.
For Reg, it's a long flight back to Cairns and his family. But a couple of days later, he'll be back in his DC-3 with another load of freight and passengers for the bush settlements of the outback.
Bush Air Cairns, this is Echo Delta Charlie.
Echo Delta Charlie, Bush Air Cairns, go ahead please.
We're on our way from Doomadgee. We're picking up a little time. I wonder if you mind bringing my wife with me and coming out, come out a little early. Due about 12:20 this stage.
Echo Delta Charlie, Roger Reg, understand 12:20 on the ground. Make the call for you and we'll see you here.
Echo Delta Charlie.
Sleeping, then the sun shines big and bright. Clocks help us all to tell the time. We use them every day. Clocks tell us when it's time to eat, to work, and time to play. Mini-mats, mini-mats, eeny, meeny, miny, mats. Catch a nodule by the nodule, don't you him go.